We were all sceptical of him arriving because of that. But no, ladies and gentlemen. The big dog has arrived. Oh, yes. And we are ready to rumble. Let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, come on. I'm so happy. He's actually come. Let's go. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Andrea Belotti has joined AC Milan for a massive transfer fee of 20.5 million. Obviously, he was transfer listed, which allowed us to get him for that little bit less than what Torino would normally ask for. But yeah, I said there was probably going to be a massive signing in January, and boy, did I try to live up to them expectations of getting a big name in. And Andrea Belotti's always been a decent striker on Football Manager, especially last year. I know a lot of people used him quite a lot. He was sort of like the go-to player for sort of like a mid-table, mid-table team that's potentially looking to get Europe. Andrea Belotti was that striker that you could potentially get from Torino and can very much do the job in this league. Obviously, he hasn't had the greatest starts to his career, with only 1 goal, 1 assist and 1 man of the match in 5 games, but it's not really his fault because we haven't necessarily been playing fantastically. But overall, I am absolutely so happy with Belotti. I think he could potentially be the go-to guy that sort of takes us to the next level. Hopefully can push us on to the top 4 so we can sort of get better players in to supply Belotti here. But as you can imagine, he slotted straight into the team, and he actually came into the side, I think it was right before the Sassuolo game. I'm pretty sure it was before the Sassuolo game. So he has played quite a few matches so far. Actually, he's only played 5, so he definitely came in before the Padova game because he actually scored a hat-trick. So, yeah, he's had quite a few games to sort of get into and get used to the side. Obviously, he did play his former team as well, but we'll go into that in just a second. But yeah, I'm really, really happy with the Belotti signing. As I said, 20 million I think is a little bit of a bargain, and his attributes, obviously, he's 28, modest in personality, so we're probably only going to get 3 or 4 years out of him. But by then, hopefully, we'll have a regen on our hands that's going to score 50 goals and be the next Lionel Messi. But, we'll have to wait for that. Honestly, I'm absolutely fuming that I haven't thought of this before. It's AC Milan, so let's change the background to a red. Let's rock the AC Milan colours. It might have been red in previous videos, I can't remember, but we're going to rock red from now on because AC Milan colours, we want the fans to be on side, and this is one of the best ways to do it, right? Right? So how have we got on since the last episode, which was, of course, the 2-0 victory against Roma, which very much put us cat amongst the pigeons in terms of getting that top 4 spot. And since then, we've been a little bit mixed. A few wins in there, a few losses, a draw as well. So it's been a very mixed bag of results throughout January. I do think that this was heavily influenced for the fact that we had so many games in a short space of time. Like we had, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We had 8 games in 30 days, which equivalates to maybe a game every 3 or 4 days, something like that, which is absolutely mental. That is ridiculous, and our fitness and sharpness just went down and sort of degraded as the month went on. So we did get some poor results. So obviously the game straight after the Roma one was the Sassuolo away from home, and Sassuolo are a very good side in this league. They're not to be sort of underestimated. They are currently in 6th, so they are behind us. So we did need to win this game to try and extend that gap. But unfortunately, we weren't able to. Sassuolo were very dominant this game. I didn't expect Sassuolo to sort of come out and dominate us the way they did. We didn't really have a sniff of anything. This could have been a 4 or 5-0 humiliating defeat. The way it was against Juventus when we played them, it could have been that, but thankfully we held on strong. No player really getting a good rating. Luis which at this point, we all know what Luis is like, and he's just unbelievable. And we could lose 7-0 and he'd get an 8.0 rating. That's how good this guy is. So Belotti did play and he didn't score. He got a 6.6 rating. So not a great debut from our boy, but thankfully the next game that we went to, he was on a bloody fire, which was the 4-0 demolition job of a Padova. I think this was in the cup, right? It was in the cup. So we absolutely dominated and destroyed these lot. Oh, you're probably looking at saying we're a bit fortunate to score 4. It's probably a little kind to us, which you would be right. However, Belotti scored a hat-trick. Of course he does. That's the man, that's the life Belotti lives. He just scores hat-tricks, scores bags of goals, and hopefully this is the start of something special for Belotti. No, but he got on the score sheet 6 minutes in. Castrovilli did get an injury straight after half-time. We doubled it through Belotti again. Sailmakers in the 64th minute, and then Belotti finishing his hat-trick just before the full-time whistle to give us a very convincing 4-0 win. So then we did play Belotti's former side in Torino, and I didn't actually know we played these so close after we signed him, but this was a boring game. I'm not going to lie to you. This was potentially one of the most boring games we've had this year. Yeah, it was just I could have fell asleep. I could have fell asleep during it. Could have fell asleep. I would have been on that bed snoring if I could have done it, but thankfully I managed to keep myself awake through just basically 10 cans of Monster. That's how much I drank on this game. It was so boring. But no, as you can see from the stats, no one had any great opportunities. No one had a great expected goals. Milan as well. Luis, Christensen, Anderson and Conti getting decent ratings. Belotti with another poor rating. Neres and Rebic. I think Jesus Corona was still on international duty, so that's why he was actually not playing for the majority of this month. So we actually this year did have a chance to go for a domestic cup in the Italian Cup. Like the Italian Cup, yeah. We did actually have a chance in this. We managed to get ourselves to the quarter-final where we agonisingly got defeated by Bologna with them scoring. It's still emotional, ladies and gentlemen. You're gonna have to excuse me. It's still quite emotional. They scored in the 93rd minute. Yeah, they scored in the 93rd minute of the game. And then beat us on penalties. So, yeah, it wasn't great. It really wasn't great from us, I'm going to be honest. I mean, I think that we are pretty unlucky not to win this. I mean, we were unlucky. Who am I trying to kid here? We were bloody unlucky. They got a 93rd minute goal, and then Belotti and Krunic decided just to miss penalties, and we are no longer in the cup. So I was so confident as well about actually winning a trophy this year, especially the Italian Cup. Who's still in there? Juventus, Roma, and Inter. So and Bologna. So, I mean, who played? Oh no, is the final about to be played? The finals. Okay, so who's looking good? So it looks like it's going to be Inter versus Juventus, because I'm assuming Juventus are probably going to beat Roma. I might be wrong. It could be an Inter-Roma derby final, which will be magical. Imagine the scenes and the bloody atmosphere in that game. Jesus. No, but then we managed to... Obviously, we were on a little bit of a poor run of form at this point. We'd only got 2 wins in 5, so we were really needing a few wins on the board, especially in the league, because we were losing touch of the top 4. And thankfully, we were able to beat Verona 1-0 away from home, courtesy of another Belotti goal. Now, what seems to be the case with most of our games, boring game, we were more clinical. Belotti got us a goal just before half-time, and thankfully we were able to see the game out. A lot more good ratings and good performances from the boys in this game. Belotti, Neres, Grimaldo, Anderson, Cagier, Conti, Luis. Unfortunately, Corona did come back into the game. Did come back into the first team in this game, but unfortunately wasn't able to impact it. But as you can see, Verona did have more shots than us. Thankfully, we were the more clinical and got ourselves 3 points on the board. And then a home tie against Fiorentina, who are a very mid-table side, which I'm quite surprised about. I always thought that Fiorentina were, well, as you can see from their sort of recent positions graph, they've sort of fell off the wayside a little bit in the past few seasons, not really challenging where they were in sort of like the early 2012, 2013, 14, 15 and 16, but then they've sort of tailed off a little bit. But thankfully, we were able to show our dominance once again for a very boring game. And thankfully, our centre-back managed to score us a goal to put us 1-0 ahead very early on in the game through a set-piece as well. And our back four had a fantastic game through very much what was a boring stalemate after that goal. No team really looked like scoring, so it was very, very lucky that we were able to score from a set-piece so early on and sort of like just shut the doors and just shut the Bombay doors and just let the Milan boys do the job. So the final game since you've been away was the 2-0 away disappointing defeat against Bologna, where we were literally as useless as a wooden house made with matchsticks as door handles. That's how useless we were. We may as well have just not turned up. Honestly, we may as well just not turned up and just sat in our armchair. You know what we should have done? We may as well have just went like this. We may as well have just laid back like this, because that was basically equivalent of what we did throughout this game. We just sat back, didn't do anything, couldn't pass more than 3 yards basically, and we were utterly useless. So yeah, at least said about this game the better, to be honest. It's a sore spot at the moment losing against these lot, because we were terrible. So we go into today's game against a very strong Atalanta side. Obviously, they've been challenging for the league the past few seasons. The past 3 years, they've got third on the trot. However, this year, they are struggling a little bit. They are currently down in 8th. So, not having the best of seasons. And we are currently in 5th with a 3-point gap from Sassuolo and a 5-point gap from Cagliari. However, a win here with a game in hand can put us within 3 points of Inter and 4 points within Napoli. So we do this game once again. I feel like every game up to the end of the season now for us is massive, because our ultimate goal is to get top 4, and we need to start sort of being a little bit more consistent. As you can see, like, we had a fantastic run from October till December, and then this January has just been horrendous. I mean, once again, I feel like it's partly because of the fact that we just had terrible fitness because of the amount of games we play in, but there's no excuse coming into February. 4 games, we've had a pretty nice rest since the Bologna game, so there's no reason why we're not going into this game with a winning mentality. I don't know why I was searching for Belotti, but yeah, we'll have to see how we get on. So let's go to the game and we'll go through the squad that's going to be playing them today. So the Milan boys that are going to be playing in today's game is quite sort of a rotated squad, because we do have a few injuries on our hands. Castrovelli is currently out for 2 to 3 months, which is a little bit annoying because he has been by far one of our standout players this year, obviously playing in that sort of free roam spot. I changed my tactics a bit, but he was obviously had that free roam, sort of roam from position, individual instruction to allow him to get a bit further forward and sort of dictate play. But unfortunately, because of his injury, we have had to alter things a little bit, and we have a back four of Conti, Gabbia, just because I've had to play Christensen in that deep line playmaker role, Anderson and Grimaldo, and then Christensen, Luis and Benacer, that midfield trio, and Corona, Neres and Belotti, that attacking trio. Very much a strong side, a side that you'd probably expect to beat Atalanta, because we definitely have the firepower. Benacer has actually been kicking up a fuss. He is asked to leave, with a lot of clubs interested at the moment. Atalanta are one of them, and I did say I would let him leave in January. I lied. Just a little bit, a teeny weeny lie. Yeah, thankfully he's going to stay with us for years on end, so I wasn't under any pressure to sell him. So unfortunately for him, he's staying in the squad. So I'm going to try my hardest to keep him, but if obviously a big offer comes in of 70, 80 million, then I'm sort of going to have my arm twisted to sell him, I think. But our fitness is pretty good, other than Benacer probably not training as well because he's upset. But we don't take any tears around here. He's going to have to crack on and get on with it, because he is a man. He is a bloody man, and he's going to have to deal with it like a man. Oh, wow. we are playing against our former player, Lucas Moura. I completely forgot about that. We're playing against our former player, Lucas Moura. Wow, right. This has got a lot more on it than I thought it would. Blimey, right. We have to beat them. Lucas Moura's terrible for us. How is he getting on at the moment? How is he doing well for them? If he scored like 15 goals, I'm fuming. He is playing well. Brilliant. So, shame he couldn't do that for me, innit? Moura, clown. Right, we have got an agenda on, and that is to make Lucas Moura look like a fool. So I expect to see a much better performance from you tonight, damn right, and everyone's happy. You love to see it. I have faith that you get out there and make a difference. I am a motivational master. Right, here we go, boys. Milan, Atalanta, and it's live.
On. Cheers, Jeff.
Right, very early chance, set-piece chance here, and Donnarumma thankfully comes and collects. I was a little bit nervous there. I was worried that we were going to get a goal against the runner playing. It's a big kick out, and David Neres has somehow found himself some space. Their defensive structure is all over the place, and Neres with what can only be called a terrible shot and a greedy pass to play there. He probably should have passed it across to, I think it was Belotti was in the middle, but so far, we are definitely the more of the dominant team here. 4 shots to their 1, which you'd expect us to dominate considering we are at home and we're playing the typical Italian formation of the arrow. But we're not really making anything of the chances we're getting. Our expected goals aren't great, which means we're probably not creating the sort of chances that result in goals. And going into half time, that is what can only be called a terrible game so far. Right, we're going to have to motivate. Do I change something here? I think we might have to change something. Who's having a poor game? Neres is struggling, so we might bring on Rebic, and we'll probably bring on... Actually, we'll keep it like that. I mean, no one's having a standout game. Belotti, 6.6, not really affecting anything. I might change him to an advanced forward. Try and get him involved closer to the goal a little bit more, because so far I don't feel like Belotti's had any significant chances of note. Right, boys, are you kidding me? We're going to have to... I feel like going attacking here. This could end badly for me, but... Oh, God, right. We're not creating anything. Let's get pass into space out. Let's go a little bit wider. Let's be more direct, and let's push up a little bit. Try and sort of like force them into a few mistakes maybe. Right, there is a chance, and oh God, it's for them. Please header that. Christensen with a great header, but Belotti's decided not to go for it. Darun, Rafael Tadoi, Romero. I swear to God, if Lucas Moura scores against me, there is going to be trouble on the horizon. Hate Boa, please defend it. It's not defend... Donnarumma, what the... That is shocking. That is shocking. I'm speechless, viewers. I'm absolutely bloody speechless. How... Right, I am not happy. I am not... Right, we're going to have to go for this now. There's literally no way I can... What could only make it worse now is if Lucas Moura scores. That can literally be... Right, there is a chance. Penalty. It's not a penalty. And they are going to be on the breakaway. Right, fantastic. Duvan, he's just gone past this man like he's not even there. There's 3 people on him and we can't tackle him. Are you kidding me? Oh, good tackle, Conte. He's decided to beat a defender there. Gabbia, Christensen, Conte. Is this a chance? It's a great chance. It's not a chance. But Benica, play it through to Belotti. Belotti, make a run, mate. Belotti. Oh, you absolute... Right, Tecatito. The chance is still on. It's a great tackle. I think that was... I mean, I'm assuming that was just a weird highlight. Oh, boys, we can't lose against these morons. Oh, don't do this. Junior. It's a good ball out. Florentino, right, you are the key player in this side. Show me why you are that. It's Rebic. Oh, what the hell was that? And... No. Oh, what a tackle. Please, Donnarumma. I mean, it's a good ball out, to be fair to him. Tecatito, Gabbia. I'm assuming it's going to be a big ball over the top. It is. And Belotti's through. Please, Belotti. Belotti! Come on. Let's go, boys. Fantastic finish from the boy. Yes, that's what we brought him in to do, to be that clinical finisher that can score goals out of nothing. And Belotti's just gone past his man, Romero there, and he slotted it past the keeper. Calm, collected, and composed. Right, can we win this here? Come on, boys. I'm confident we can win this. I'm pretty confident. Let's change you to a poacher, and we will... Let's run at them, maybe. Oh, a few minutes to go. Is there going to be a chance? Oh, there isn't. Oh, a 1-1. Oh, that's not great. And that does leave us quite far behind the top four. I mean, 5 points with, 15 games to go, I think it is. 15 games to go. Yeah, we are in the Euro Cup knockout round as well. I mean, it's not terrible. I think that... I mean, Donnarumma's mistake there... Right. I need to have a word. We need to have words, me and you, Donnarumma. Do you have hands? I mean, I'm starting to question whether or not you just don't have hands, mate. Yeah, you were terrible. Honestly, I'm so close to selling him. I'm not going to lie. He's been so inconsistent this year. Like, there'll be games where he plays brilliantly, and then there'll be random games where he does stupid mistakes like that. And he was like that last year as well. So I might sell him and just get a load of money for him. He is worth 43 million. So if a team's interested, potentially get 80, 90 million for him. But we'll have to wait and see. I mean, that's such an annoying result. Right, I think, well, we're going to come back for a Euro Cup night in the second knockout round. And what we'll do as well, we will, do we actually, or do we go, this is curious. Or do we go, I don't know now, I'm confused. I think we'll come back for the second knockout round. Euro Cup second knockout round. I think that's what we will do. And what we'll do, we will play the first game, and then we'll play the second game in the episode after, to see how we get on. But yeah, that's good. Or we might just play both in one episode. I'm not too sure. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. A very poor result against a poor Atalanta side there, but we'll just have to crack on, won't we, unfortunately? We'll just have to crack on in unhappiness and 5th position. So, we'll see how it goes. So that does bring us to the end of the episode. And of course, as I always like to do, I want to thank you all very much for watching. It's always very much appreciated. And you guys are bloody awesome. So please leave any feedback, anything like that, in the description. Obviously, my Twitter and Twitch is here. And I will see you in the next episode. Stay safe. Have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. And I'll see you very soon. Goodbye.